A warm welcome. We're so glad you've joined us. In the next few minutes you'll get a first taste of Arabic calligraphy, the beautiful art of writing that's also known as Islamic calligraphy. This little introduction is for anyone stepping into the class for the very first time, so don't worry if you've never held a pen like this before. Together, and without any rush, we'll look at where this art comes from, the different scripts it knows, the materials you'll work with, and how it's actually learned. All you really need to bring is a little curiosity and a little patience. So however you're starting out, feel welcome, and let's begin. Let's start with the heart of it. Arabic calligraphy is, quite simply, the art of the line, shaping letters and words with such care that they come to sit together in harmony. The word calligraphy itself comes from Greek, and it means beautiful writing. In the Islamic world, writing beautifully was never mere decoration, it was counted among the very highest of the arts. A fine piece of calligraphy is admired in just the way we might admire a great painting or a piece of music. It is a craft and an art at once, and for many people, something deeper still, a form of devotion. So why did writing, of all things, come to matter so much? In the Islamic tradition, the focus rests firmly on the word, rather than on images of people or figures, especially in a religious setting. That meant an artist poured their skill, above all, into the letter itself. And the great source of inspiration was always the Quran. The wish to write those words as beautifully and as worthily as possible drove calligraphers, century after century, to refine their craft a little further. Here, beauty always served the text. The story begins in Mecca and Medina, where the Quran was first revealed. From there, the art of writing traveled to Baghdad and Damascus, and along the way new scripts kept appearing. The oldest of them is Kufi, often called the mother of all scripts, since the classical hands would later grow out of it, into a family of 6 that still forms the foundation today. When this art reached the Ottomans, it was refined further still, until, in the 17th and 18th centuries, it reached its golden age in Istanbul. There's a saying that captures it beautifully: the Quran was revealed in Mecca and Medina, explained in Damascus, recited in Cairo, memorized in Mauritania and Morocco, and written in Istanbul. And it was the Ottoman masters who polished Sülüs, Divani, and Rika into something especially refined and elegant. For many who practice it, this is more than a craft, it is a form of devotion. The work often opens with the Besmele, the words in the name of God, and the writing is approached with real attention and respect. Those long, patient hours call for inner calm and complete concentration, and for many that is exactly where the beauty lies. Little by little, the pen becomes almost an extension of the writer's own attention. You don't have to feel all of this straight away, but it's good to know that this art has always been bound up with calm, patience and reverence. Over the centuries, a great many scripts took shape. Today we usually count around 12 of them, and in class we love to show them side by side on a single panel, so you can see the differences with your own eyes. Each script has its own shape, its own rules, its own mood. Some are large and stately, made to hang on a wall, others are small and clear, made for filling the pages of a book. You'll meet some mainly in old manuscripts, and others on thoroughly modern works. Let's look a little closer at a few you'll come across most often. We start with the oldest, Kufi. You'll know it at once by its angular, upright, almost geometric shapes. There is something genuinely monumental about it. In the early centuries, whole Qurans were written in Kufi, and you'll still spot it on buildings, on tiles, even on old coins. Because so many other hands grew out of this single script, Kufi earned its name as the mother of the scripts. And thanks to that clean, architectural character, it is still used today wherever a decorative inscription is wanted. Next comes Sülüs, perhaps the most magnificent script of all. It is large, graceful and stately, full of long, sweeping curves, and it is often called the king of scripts. You'll find it on the walls and domes of mosques, on grand panels and in titles. It asks a great deal of the calligrapher, because every single letter has its proportions precisely fixed. But master Sülüs, and you have a firm foundation for almost every other script. The third script is Nesih. Where Sülüs is grand and imposing, Nesih is small, clear, and wonderfully easy to read, which is exactly why it became the script for copying the Quran and entire books. Countless handwritten Qurans were produced in this hand. And because its letters are so even and so legible, it is often one of the very first scripts you'll learn, giving you the fundamentals you'll carry into everything else. The fourth is Divani, born in the Ottoman court and used for the Sultan's official documents and decrees. It is elegant and a little playful, the letters crowd close together, often sloping upward, and the words seem to lock into one another. That intricacy was quite deliberate, it made documents difficult to forge. There are other scripts beyond these, too, like a graceful hand for poetry and a quick, simple one for everyday writing that we call Rika. Together, they make up one rich family. Once your eye is tuned to it, you'll start to see this art everywhere. It graces the domes, the walls, and the prayer niches of mosques. In the Hagia Sophia in Istanbul, enormous round panels hang overhead, the largest calligraphy in the world, carrying sacred names in glorious script. You'll find it on gravestones and tiles, above doorways, and in frames on the walls of people's homes. And this is no art of the past. Right now, new students, just like you, are learning this beautiful craft. What takes many people by surprise is just how precise this art really is. Every letter has a set measure, an exact width, an exact height, an exact proportion. Traditionally, those measures are counted out in tiny diamond-shaped dots, the ones picked out here in red. So this beauty is no accident, it is the result of careful, almost mathematical calculation. Picasso, it is said, once remarked that what painters were reaching for in abstract art, calligraphy had arrived at long ago. Look closely, and you really do see it, a striking balance between freedom and exact measure. An experienced calligrapher knows, to the very dot, how tall and how wide each letter should be. The materials are something special too, and almost all of them natural. The pen is cut from dried reed or bamboo, and we cut it ourselves, by hand, with a special knife held at just the right angle. The ink is made by hand from natural ingredients, and it is so lasting that even after 1,000 years it hasn't given up its deep black. Inside the inkwell sits a little tuft of raw silk, called the liquor. It lets the pen draw up an even amount of ink each time, with no blots and no drips. And the paper is specially prepared, burnished with egg and starch, so the pen glides across it smoothly and a small slip can be lifted away with care. Writing beautifully is about far more than moving your hand. How you sit matters just as much. You settle calmly and upright, the paper resting on your knee or a support, your hand loose and relaxed. The pen is held at one steady angle, so its tip always gives the same thick and thin strokes. At first it all feels a little awkward, and that is completely normal. This is not something you'll master in an evening. It comes down to breathing slowly, repeating each form again and again, and gently teaching your hand the right movement. This art is handed down in a very particular way. The teacher writes out a model, and you copy it as faithfully as you can, again and again. Through that patient copying, the shapes slowly become your own. The bond between teacher and pupil stretches back, unbroken, across the centuries. And a teacher really is essential. This is very hard to learn alone, because on your own it is all too easy to drift into the wrong habits without noticing. A good guide helps you set the right forms from the very beginning. Practice for years and reach the level of a master, and at last you are granted the license to sign your own work. And so the chain of teachers and pupils carries on, all the way back to the earliest masters. Just how treasured this art is becomes clear even today. Works by the old Ottoman masters come up at auction in cities like Paris and London, sometimes for remarkable sums. A single panel can be worth a small fortune. And that tells you something about what is held inside it: centuries of patience, practice, and love for the letter, gathered into one sheet of paper. Collectors and museums across the world hold these pages dear. When you sit down to practice, you are joining that same long and cherished tradition. So what does all this mean for your first lessons? You won't start with whole words or verses, but with single letters, practicing the same basic shapes over and over until your hand simply knows them. It can feel slow, but every letter you truly master becomes a building block for everything that follows. Try not to measure yourself against anyone else. Everyone moves at their own pace. Your teacher will look on, gently correct, and set you a fresh model each time. Here, patience counts for far more than speed, and small steps, taken steadily, carry you surprisingly far. And with that, we've reached the end of our introduction. By now you know where this art comes from, you've met a few of its important scripts, you've seen the materials, and you have a feel for how a lesson unfolds. Most of all, remember this: you're stepping into a beautiful tradition, centuries deep, and you don't have to master it all at once. Begin gently, practice with joy, and savor each letter as it grows. There is all the room in the world to make mistakes and to grow, one step at a time. You are warmly welcome here, and we can't wait to see you in class.